See the start of the new season more clearly with sports eyewear from Norval Opticians.
David, you were pretty angry on Friday night about the way things ended up. Struggling at that point to know the whys of why it had happened. Having watched the video probably once, more than once maybe, what more do you know now, having watched the video?
We spent a lot of time over the weekend, last couple of days, reviewing the game. I'm not so sure it was just anger, it was more the disappointment. I think we felt that in the first 50 minutes, everything we'd worked towards in terms of how we wanted to play, just our physical conditioning, we looked in great shape, we looked good at breakdown, the shape to our game was very good. So I was disappointed for the players, for the staff who've put so much work into that initial period, that we then threw it away, having given ourselves such a great opportunity to beat Leicester. There's no one reason, there were a number of different factors, but primarily we didn't do the things in the second half that we did in the first half. We didn't get our set piece right, we gave away too many penalties, we were loose with the ball, we turned over the ball, and because of that we couldn't create the pressure on Leicester that we had in the first half. So look, still we're all disappointed to have lost that game. It was a great opportunity to start the season on a high, but there are some big positives that we've taken away from the game.
Is it an angry group you've had and Laura have had to work with this week? Because I mean, if they are, then that can be channelled in the right way, can't it?
We haven't really had an issue over the last couple of years with our players responding after the disappointing performance, so I have absolutely no doubt that there'll be a big reaction again this weekend. But we've talked about it we've had this conversation a few times. We've given ourselves so many great opportunities to beat the good teams. We've got to start taking those. And again, we've talked about whether it was physicals, the mental element to it, but we've got some very experienced players there who've been in situations like that previously, and they know how to close out games. So we've looked back at the weekend. We know going forward that we've big challenges ahead. We've got to respond in the way that we can this week against Worcester, but also we've got to put it in context. It was the first game of what is going to be a very, very long season.
Yeah, how do you get more of what was happening in the first half rather than obviously what happened in the second after the 43rd minute?
First of all, you've got to give Leicester some credit for coming back. There's not too many teams in the Premiership, well, probably not too many teams in world rugby who would come back from 31-7, but they just kept doing what they didn't do in the first half and capitalised very much on our mistakes. I thought their field position ultimately was what won them the game. So for us, it's been a case of obviously understanding what we did badly, but it's also been very positive about what we did well and ensuring that those things that we did well we take into this week's game.
And I suppose the key is you've got to remember this, but remember it in the right way so that it's a sort of never again rather than a sort of, it has a negative long-term effect on the team.
A lot of people that I spoke to after the game, I was at under 15 rugby competition on Saturday, and people said, oh, it's the same old Gloucester. It's actually not the same old Gloucester. Everything we've done through pre-season, everything in terms of the way we played, in terms of the way we prepared, in terms of our fitness, it's very different to what we've been before. And I think, again, talking to a lot of people, that first 50 minutes was as good as anything that's been on display at Kingsholm or by any team in a Gloucester shirt for a long period of time. So there's some huge positives to take away. What we've got to make sure is that when we get ourselves into that position again, we then kick on, and as the top teams do, they win the game comfortably.
Selection this week, is it a case of changing a few players, or is it a case of sort of get back on the bike and go again?
We know with the nature of this season, we know with the size of squad that we have, that we've got to rotate players throughout the course of the year to make sure that we're getting players, whether it be through substitutions, whether it be through rotating on a week-to-week basis. We've got to get the best out of every player in our squad. So I think week to week there will be some changes. There certainly won't be wholesale changes, but we want to make sure that we are competitive from the very start to the very end of the year.
And is Worcester a good game, being a local derby?
I'm not sure I'd say it's a good game. I think it's a tough game. I know that every game we're going to play this year is going to be tough. You look back at the results over the course of the weekend, the majority were within one score. That's been the same as it's been for us over the course of the last couple of years. We've always been thereabouts. We've been in touching distance of wins with bonus points, losing bonus points. So I just think every week that we're sitting here having this discussion, we know there's a huge challenge ahead. We know that if we're going to win the game, we have to be at our very best, as we were in the first 50 minutes of last Friday night's game. So it's a big season ahead. Every week's going to be tough.